sometimes after a survivor is being found 48 hours, whether it's at a bus stop or a train stop, most of it can come with recruitment. Those happen at juvenile halls, whether it's Los Padrinos in Orange County, whether it's in East Lake. I have been sent to go to jail to recruit other girls, to be sent to a group home, which is not necessarily a foster home, but a lockdown facility to leave with another girl. And that's simply a pattern, a cycle. I will get arrested, become a juvenile in handcuffs, just to go talk to another girl and bring her back to my pimp.
Wow.
And that's in a facility.
What do they give you in return?
Nothing. It's a mind thing. And when you have people, you have social workers, you have foster parents, you have staff members. And a lot of people question, why don't you run to these people? Why don't you run to these organizations? Why don't you accept this help? All your life you may have cops, no offense to anyone, you have cops that have traded you for sex and still arrested you. You still have social workers that may have put you in a home and put you back with your mother that's abusive, or a lot of molestation. So you can't really trust an adult. You can't trust these people with these badges, these names, these titles. You can't expect someone to just be open armed like that. And here you have a man, whether it's a man or woman, because they come as men or women, which are madams, as a woman. And you have somebody that you think is caring. And it's something like Stockholm Syndrome. You have somebody, he may beat you. You may have to be raped 32 times a day to make ends meet to even eat a McDonald's meal. But that's something that is better than being here. I'm used to this. Maybe I'm actually, as a woman, as a kid, as an 11-year-old girl with probably Tuesday panties on, maybe I'm actually used to a man touching me because this is what my father did. This is what people all my life have used and abused me. This is actually maybe normal.
Well, do you want to share a little bit about your story?
I got recruited when I was 11 years old. My family was half and half, so I was adopted, but I would never knew my family, so I was adopted 2 days old. I had a functional family and I had a dysfunctional family. So I've seen the world. I've seen outer states, Yellowstone, all these beautiful states and everything, but I've also been trafficked in them also, so that changed the beauty of them. But I've also been homeless. I've been molested. I've been raped by my uncle. I've been raped by gang members, and I was found at 11 years old actually being a runaway in 48 hours. I ended up going to a friend's house. She ended up leaving me at this guy's house. And they were also drug traffickers, so there was drugs being involved. And the grooming process began. I was a kid. I was 11 years old. I had ballies in my hair. And literally, my school uniform coming because I ran away from school. Like, not really. I left from school because I wasn't running to something. I was running from my home. And after being there, probably about a couple of hours, the girl that was she's the, can't we say it on it? She's like the bottom girl, the recruiter. She didn't speak to me until he told her to speak to me. I was bathed that night. I've never been bathed in my life. I've never been nurtured. I've never been told I love you, there's nothing wrong with you, or you are no different from anybody else in society. So when a man comes and he's becoming this Romeo type of pimp, and I love you and you're going to be all right and you can stay here, and not so much the emotional part of it. And then you have a woman that now is speaking to you and kind of being much nurturing. I didn't think nothing of it. Then that night, they went out. I didn't do anything that night. She got out. She came back. And it was like a relationship. Even though he yelled and cussed at her, she had nowhere else to go. And she could have ran to the police. She could have ran anywhere, but she had nowhere else to go. The next night, I was told to get out. I didn't want to get out. I was pulled by my hair and dragged out the car off of Long Beach Boulevard. And I was told to make some money or my family would find out about it. And even though my family had seen me a couple times on the streets, they never paid attention to me. They made direct eye contact and walked away. And it was still the fear of being a woman, not knowing who I am, a young girl, still the identity loss of it. Still thinking I don't know who I am, but whoever I am and whoever I'm going to become, this is a big part of it. And I'm stuck. And nobody's going to help me. Nobody has ever helped me in these 11 years, from 8 to 11 years old. So why would someone help me now? And the process began. I went over there night after night. I had to make ends meet. I wouldn't get meals. And yeah, it was okay for me to get a McFlurry. It was okay for me to eat Wendy's. It was okay for me to get a $1 menu. And I was fine with that because maybe I was digging in a trash can at 8 years old with my parents and family members to eat. So that's much different. And this is a person that loves me and he says he cares about me, even though he may beat me so bad that I don't even get to go to a hospital. I'm taken to another drug house, a dope spot, and being covered up and stitched up by someone who has no experience. This is what I'm used to. And even when I wake up in the morning and he lets me and her go to the $2.99 store or let us go to the swap meets or just to get these small skimpy outfits at 11 years old, this is all right. this is okay. It's good. And it's no, the door can literally, I always say, can be 5 feet in front of me, 2 inches in front of me, and I'm not going to run. Because this is better than here. And no matter how bad I may become, even at 19 years old and working, going to school, and people knowing where I came from, I'm still different.
Oree, what was the tipping point, Oree? What got you out of there?
I was actually, to be honest, I was placed in a group home, which was Credington, out here in Orange County. And I've ran away from there and worked harbor to get my way back. Stayed in Motel 6s all around Orange County just to get back, and had sex and traded sex. And when I finally came back I went there at 16. I left. I was on a 2-year run. I ended up getting a job for the first time. I ended up finding out my identity, certain social security numbers, all these things, and I began to grow. Not once. I probably had a couple of dates here and there because I had nobody else. I had to survive some way. But I would not go back to a pimp because I had an exposure to these people, to someone like Jim that cared about me. And I think that was my tipping point, that I knew while I was on the run, no matter how many times I could call someone like Jim Carson, I can call Jim literally 15 times and tell him I'm ready. And I can literally meet him at a Jack in the Box McDonald's and sit there and say, all right, he gets me off the track. And I'm like, you got to turn this car around. I got to go back. To have somebody consistent and stable in your life is one of the things that you never had as a kid or even as an adult. You have these people from organizations or different programs that come and say, I'm going to be your mentor, I'm going to be your sister, I'm going to be your friend. And they come see you once a month, then they disappear when you leave the track. Because it becomes emotional, overwhelming. I think a lot of people don't understand. It's not about you. If this is your passion, this is what you want to do to help a kid or help a young lady, it's not about you, it's about them. And you have to be open and willing to be there for them when they're ready, no matter if it's the 30th time. If it's not going to be sincere, if it's not going to be that amount, you can't do it at all. Because as a survivor, you be able to read someone very well. And I can tell by first conversation whether you're sincere, whether you're going to be in my life for a long time, or whether you're just doing this because this is your job and this is maybe you feel a little bit sorry for me. And I think my tipping point was I had Jim in my life that was constant. And the day I picked up the phone before my 18th birthday, 3 months before my 18th birthday, I said, I'm ready. And he said, all right, I'm going to get you a court date and you'll come to court. And I turned myself in, willingly to turn myself in and be in handcuffs. Because I knew I can trust him. That wherever he was going to send me, I was going to be okay. That what was going to happen, who I was going to be around, or no matter how hard it is to wake up in the morning and for staff or for your family or for people to understand how fast your mind races in the middle of the night and you have no one there to hold you and tell you they love you and you're okay and you're by yourself, and the most worst thing is being alone, and to have someone you can call and say, you know what, I don't have this and something's wrong, I need help, I'm willing to get the help. And now that I'm in the process of growing and becoming this young woman, the fight doesn't stop. I work and I still go to school and it doesn't stop.
It's amazing. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much for your courage as well. For sharing.